guys and gals. Okay, so here we are going to get into our bumped up voicings, some very standard jazz voicings that utilize some ninths and 13ths, and they sound fantastic. And I have a lot of students who use these chords and they never go on to anything else. It's good enough to, it buys you a lot of real estate. Don't those sound great? Okay, so flip over to the page that says extension. All right, and you will see that on the extensions page, we have a 2-octave major scale. So everyone play your 2-octave major scale. Ready, and. I'm sorry, I don't have a B on my piano. Come back down, right? Okay, all we're doing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is what we've been dealing with our 7th chords. But now we're going to add some sprinkles to our cake. You know, here comes the cake again. We've got our sprinkles coming on. Those are the sprinkles up there. The sprinkles don't change whether it's a chocolate cake or a vanilla cake or a German chocolate cake or red velvet cake or whatever. Ooh, I'm getting hungry. The sprinkles just make it pretty on the top, and it doesn't actually change the quality of the chord down here. It doesn't change whether it's major or minor or anything, right? It just gives it some hipness up on the top. So we're dealing with 9, 11, 13. 9 is the same as 2. 11 is the same as 4. 13 is the same as 6. The important thing is, though, a 9th chord means that we're also including the 7th. They don't write it, they just write it C major 9. Because it would sound weird to write C major 7, 9. Or if it was C13, they'd have to write C major 7, 9, 11, 13. I mean, they just write C major 13, and that means you're to put all this other stuff under it, right? So anyway, let's look at something. Remember that the sprinkles do not change the quality of the chord. First, let's form some ninth chords. And what I'd like to do is, this is going to be in the key of F. So the key of F has 1 flat, right? And we're going to start on 2, which would be G minor 7. So I like grabbing that with my left hand. G minor 7, add the 9. Listen how pretty that is. Very great sounding chord. So everyone play your G minor 9 chord. Next, everyone play your C9 chord. And again, C9 means C7, flatted 7th with a 9th. So everybody play that. Okay, now everybody play a major 9, F major 9. Here's my F major 9 chord. Add the 9th on top. But check it out, if I was to play this, it would sound really wonky. I'd be like, look how far I have to move, right, to play all that. So there's better ways to voice it so that we're not jumping all over the place, okay? Now, the problem is we have too many options, so I am going to limit your options. Here's the deal. Anytime you have a minor chord, you're going to play it as a minor 9th. Check out the bottom of this extensions page. All minor 7ths, any kind of minor, anything goes to minor 9. Any kind of dominant chord, anytime you see letter, number, that means it's a dominant chord. You're going to bring it all the way up to a 13th. Anytime you just see a triad or a major 7 chord, you're going to bring it up to major 9. Okay, so that's some stuff there. Go ahead and flip over to bumping up chords. Bumping up chords. Now, here's the deal. Take a look at that middle note, that G13, that middle chord. Check that out. That is a dense chord. Okay, and I mean dense as in thick, right? It has every single note of the scale. 1, 2 or 9, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, it has every note of the scale. It's like doing this. No wonder it sounds dense. It's this. It's too many notes, Mozart. It's too many notes. For my Amadeus fans out there. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen Amadeus, go rent it. I've got to take something out of this. Plus, how in the world am I going to play that if I have to play a melody, right? So here's the deal. We eliminate the root. Why? Because our bassist is going to cover it. Take out the root, okay? Number 2, we are going to take out the 11th, this note up here. Why? Because the 11th sits right next to our all-important 3rd, right? It's never going to win against the 3rd. The 3rd is more important. We leave the 11th out. It already sounds a lot better, doesn't it? But it's still kind of hard to grab with one hand. So we're going to take the 5th out. The 5th is inconsequential. It kind of doesn't matter so much. Bass players play the 5th a lot. Look at that bass note. 5, 5, 1, right? So we're going to let the bass player play that note. And then what that leaves us with is all important. And this is G, 3 and 7. Gotta have the 3rd and 7, right? Always. And then it gives us 9, 13. What a cool chord. So we have most important chord notes with some sprinkles on top. Excellent. Now check it out. I can play that with one hand. I'm going to throw that down here and throw this note down there and rearrange it into this pattern. Now it's very grabbable with one hand. Okay? If I do the same with the minor 9 and eliminate the root, I just move one finger over and I have this really nice 2-5-1 that I could grab with one hand, and that could allow me to play the melody. Here's a new chord we need to learn, but here's my 2, 5, 2, 5, 1. Okay? So do me a favor, play that 2-5-1 with me just by looking at my hand structure here. One finger moves, this finger moves to get to the next chord, and then we come down into a 3rds pattern. I call this a 3rds shape. Why? Because my D minor 9 chord, the bottom note is a 3rd. I'm organized in 3rds. One finger moves. That's easy enough. That is 7 to 3 from a harmonic standpoint. And then I come down to another 3rd shape for C. All that's missing is the root, starting on the 3rd. So I call this the 3rds shape. Really get into how it feels. Try it with me. 1, 2, ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Really cool sound, okay? Now, flip over to the rootless left-hand voicings, and I want you to get the page that says 3rds shape. 3rd shape, okay? And take a look at the second line down, okay? This line right here. And that's what we were just playing. It's all written out though for you, which I'm not sure I really like because you got to learn these by memory, okay? But anyway, let's do that in the key of C again. I'm going to put on my drummer. Okay, here we go. Key of C, 2-5-1 with our bumped up voicings. 2, 1, 2, ready, and 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, again, 2, 3, 4. Let's go up a half step. Let's go down one line to the key of D flat. You notice same hand motion. Here I'm spread out in 3rds again. And this finger moves first, moves down a half a step. Good, let's bring that up again. And half a step here. 3, 4. This one you gotta avoid some notes. You gotta move around the black and white keys. But it's always the same pattern as far as the way it feels in your hand. Here's the key of E flat. Second finger moves down a half step, then we spread out into 3rds. Again, ready, and half step down, 3. And here is the last key of the page, the lovely key of E, half step down. Okay, I skipped the very first one, but you get the idea. So I want you to practice all of those, okay? They sound great. Here's the key of C again. You get that bass note in there in the melody? Great. But check it out. Eventually, like you noticed, I started here, key of B, and then I'm getting higher and higher, right? So you remember our rule of thumb. Look where I'm at up here. If I had to play the melody, my right hand is going to be in the way, or the left hand's going to be in the way of my melody. So at this point, for the key of E, I don't want to go up any higher. So flip over to the cluster shape, which is this one, cluster shape, okay? And instead of playing G minor all the way up here in the third shape, I'm going to invert it and bring everything back down so that I can move around to play melody up here. This is called the cluster shape because of this little half step in the middle, which is really cool. If you notice, for G minor, I'm starting on the 7th, and indeed the 7th always moves to the 3rd of the upcoming chord. There it is. Okay, so in these examples, your 5th finger moves a half step, and then I like to think of it as these top 3 moving down 1. So watch this motion again. 5th finger moves first, top 3 move over 1. Okay, so let's play that. Here's the key of F. 2, 1, 2, ready, and. Okay, try that again. Key of F, 2, ready, and. Let's take it up a half step to the key of G flat, and. Same shape, same exact shape. Get into the shape. Feel it in your hand position. I can play these on the wall. You know, I know how they feel. It's like a bar chord on guitar. Okay, going on. Key of G. And once you get these down, you should double them. Right hand and left hand plays the same thing. Okay, then you'll have a chance to be heard in the big band. Going on, key of A flat. 2, 3, 4. We want to have some full voicings when we're playing with all those horn players. Okay, here we go. Key of A. 3 and 4. 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, one more key, which is B flat. This is the last line. 2, 3, 4. This one's a little bit high. I actually play this in both shapes. 3 and 4. 2, 3 and 4. So see, we could bring it down to a third shape for that last key if we wanted. We're a little low here, but that's okay. So those are some really standard voicings. Bill Evans used those voicings. Herbie Hancock used those voicings. They'll buy you a ton of real estate. All you have to think about is anytime you see a minor chord, you never just play a minor chord, you play a minor 9. Anytime you see a dominant chord, you bring it all the way up to this bumped up dominant 13th. And then same with all the major chords, you want them, even if it just says C triad, no jazz piano player would really ever play a C triad unless it was like way back early music maybe, or country music. If you're in a country band, triads are the thing. But we want our cake. We want all of it. Jazz piano players want our cake, our frosting, our sprinkles. We want it all, you know. So that's what we mean about jazzing it up, right? It means to add some extra color to the chords. free to contact me. My information is on the screen here. And I hope this has been helpful. It'll really make you sound like a very mature jazz piano player if you can get into using these chord voicings. All right. Hope you had a good day and talk to you soon.